investigate it.
The accident that he mentioned is one of the most extraordinary nuclear weapons accidents that occurred. We had a bomber 24 hours a day flying over our air base in Thule, Greenland, just to make sure that it still existed, because that's where the ballistic missile early warning radar was that was going to give us our first indication that we were under attack. So this bomber would fly around visually making sure and in radio contact that this base still existed. Now this bomber...
You mean that it wasn't obliterated by the strike?
As if the first sign of a Soviet strike might be obliterating that radar base. Now this bomber also carried bombs, and in this case it had 4 hydrogen bombs on it. And it's a remarkable accident. One of the navigators, because it was a long flight, 20 hours, brought foam rubber seat cushions onto the plane so that the flight would be more comfortable. And the seat cushions were stowed underneath a seat inadvertently near a heat vent. The rubber seat cushions caught on fire, and they realized that when they smelled burning rubber, there was a desperate attempt to put out the fire on the plane, and the plane basically was lost. And the pilot heroically was able to guide the plane away from the airbase at Thule. The plane crashed, conventional explosives and the hydrogen bombs exploded. The weapons didn't fully detonate, but plutonium was spread all over the ice there. But the great irony was, here's a plane that's supposed to keep its eye on one of our most important Air Force installations, and it nearly destroyed it. And this is no exaggeration. This has been written about. If those weapons had detonated and destroyed that base, or even if that base had been destroyed by a conventional crash, nobody would have known what had happened, and it would have been a logical assumption that we had been attacked by the Soviet Union, because that was the first place that they were attacked.
And that might have ignited a counter-strike.
The base at Thule knew that this plane was having problems, but the Strategic Air Command in the United States had not been notified that this plane had a fire on it. So, again, this is all what if, what if, but this is how horrible accidents can happen. I mean,
what's astounding is that there are so many of these incidents, and yet not once did it go over the line. Not once did the nightmare scenario actually happen.
But anyone who drives, and I love to drive, and I, knock on wood, I've never been in a major accident. But 3 weeks ago I was driving. I was getting onto a highway, and somebody was coming the wrong way right towards me on the on-ramp. He swerved out of the way. There was no accident. I could cite 6 or 7 other times. And again, it's never happened until it happens.